slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter off past actions. I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water, but it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
Alright, we here.
What it do, everybody? What's good? It's your humble host Sage back up in this thing with my brethren. As always, we got Chef D, aka Nasty Nino. We got T Smooth and Croco, aka Nile, back up in this thing. With another episode 83. That much closer to that big 100. So getting there in style. I don't even know. We're not gonna make it by the end of this year. I don't think so.
Nah, we'll be at 100 probably by next year.
Next year.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a next year thing.
But still, multi-year type of endeavor that we've been on so far. So very happy to take this journey with my brethren. As always, how y'all doing?
Doing good. Bill's playing right now. Hopefully we can walk out with a dub. We here.
Did y'all score or no?
Nah, it's
Nah, we
0-0
just got the
right now
ball back.
still. Yeah, other than that, I'll be going to New York Comic Con next week, so looking forward to that. Gonna be working with Players Alliance to get some content for them. Anyone that's watching this, if you don't like being preyed on by these companies on monetization with loot box or these little booster packs or whatever in these games for pay to win, come join us over at Player Alliance. Just hit us up. We'll send you the Discord. Come through. Help us unionize and fight these companies.
And we have some topics that I actually talk about that as well. They doing this rigmarole again. All right, and it's a flag. We actually got some topics that speaks upon that as well. We also have Absolute Evil. They just came out with the Absolute version of the Justice League. We will talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about Peacemaker. Me and T have been tuned into it. We got Ghost Yote just dropped. We got Microsoft and their gaming news in regards to their Game Pass, EA, and the news about them being bought out by a specific group. And then we have some juicy stuff about Marvel and the machinations behind the scenes about how things could go forward and y'all thoughts. I'm curious about it.
I got a question before we get. What is machinations?
Machinations.
Machinations? What does that mean?
Reading time.
I'm just like, honestly,
A plot or a scheme.
Okay, I just want to make sure because that you out here throwing big words out here for our viewers and whatnot. You never know. Some might get it, some might not. Machination.
It's like what's the root?
They could have spent just as much time as I just did.
Mechanics,
2.5
right?
seconds
or something.
Dude,
of Googling it.
Dude.
Well, I mean, like this weird. Remember when we was in school? They was like, use your context clues. This is context clues.
Yeah.
Mechanics. We know the mechanics of something are the inner.
And we fumbled the ball, and they got it. Wait, I think we got it back.
Yo, Patriots defense fire.
They cool. They cool.
Yep, they got the ball. They got the ball at the 11.
One of my friends said we need to take these fucking jerseys off now. Nonetheless, let's get right into it. Absolute. If you haven't been tuned into the Absolute comic universe of DC so far, it's probably some of the best stories that we've seen from DC Comics in quite some time. Okay.
You all right there?
Yeah, you okay? We need to call a doctor.
Another fumble is crazy. That's disgusting.
I just said it was a fumble. Fast forward your joint, bro.
I didn't know. It is. This is the live. I'm on the NFL app. This is.
Oh, that's why you're.
Broncos.
How are you behind YouTube TV?
They need to get. Yeah, they need to take these jerseys off expeditiously.
I ain't taking mine off.
I don't know what's going on.
The game ain't over yet.
He said I spent too much money on this. All right. Nonetheless, Absolute Justice League has finally come out. If you don't know, please tap into this Absolute universe and please show your support for these authors as well, because they're doing their damn. I believe it's Scott Snyder who's at the helm of the Absolute universe, right? Or am I wrong?
Really?
Yeah.
Scott Snyder.
No, not the helm. He's the helm of Batman. I thought.
Batman.
Yeah. Oh, Batman specifically. My bad.
Oh, Absolute Batman.
Who is it? Is there a head?
I can't remember.
I think there's a head
now.
So wait. So Absolute Evil.
Because Ultimates is Hickman. Sorry.
So I'm just a little bit confused.
But Al Ewing, that does the Green Lantern, is also writing for Absolute Evil. But there's different writers, but I don't know who's at the
Scott
head
Snyder
of it.
is the head author and architect of DC's Absolute Universe. Yeah.
Okay.
But I got a question.
Now, T, what was you saying? Yeah.
Absolute Evil. So does this like still follow the same story? Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, or is this a whole nother story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
No,
It's like the
it follows
Justice
the
League.
storyline.
So wait, the Justice League is evil?
You have to
so
watch.
it's
You
like
have to
the
read it.
Thunderbolts?
You gotta read it. You have to read it.
Oh, he didn't read it?
You know how?
No,
That's what I'm asking. Like the thing is,
Yeah.
I'm going to read it. I'm just trying to find out because I know Batman is good in his storyline.
But this is a universe created by Darkseid, so everything isn't going to be like. It's like Batman
It's
is
just
like
not the
for,
same. They still,
like Batman is for like vengeance and like justice, but in this one he represents like chaos. So it's like it's a lot. But once you read Absolute Evil, you'll get an idea of like how it's going. But dang, we can't do no spoilers now.
We can't do spoilers.
Oh
I
my
wasn't even
god!
planning on doing it because you got to read a whole plethora of comics in order to get
you
understand
gotta read a
who's
lot,
who.
See, what did you read so far?
I read maybe I'm behind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I read maybe just the first 2 chapters of Absolute Batman, but I planned like this week I'm about to lock in and catch up on all that.
I mean, I think they're all good.
So the Absolute Batman finished, or the issue still going?
It's
no,
still
it's still like all of
everything
it is still going.
So pretty much just try and read everything up to what's
you
the
don't even
chapter?
necessarily have to read all of it, but if you get a good little ways, because it's only like it's not more than 15 chapters for any of the Absolute comics, if I'm not mistaken.
And I can send you the order the issues came out in. Well, where you can get them and everything. So
okay, that'll work. Because then I'll download them, put them on my tablet, and just read them as quickly as possible.
yeah,
That's what I
because
did.
that Absolute Evil is kind of well, Absolute Batman. The last 3 issues I would say are crazy. Once you get to Absolute Evil, you're like, okay, like now I see how they pulling the strings. I see who's doing what. You seeing how they got their eyes on all these different things as well. So it's pretty good though.
I heard that they introduced Joker in Absolute Batman, and he is on a whole nother level.
That nigga, they talk about him in Absolute Evil. I don't think this is spoilers. We obviously know these characters are in these comics, so it was only a matter of time. They talk about him, but his presence, you can tell. Like, he's menacing in the regular DC universe, but it's something eerie about this nigga. He don't talk much. If you're familiar with the Absolute Batman, this Joker does not talk much. He's not with the hearty har laughs or any of that shit. And how he's able to command a room is just, it's crazy. I ain't gonna. He got mad aura. He had niggas shut the fuck up. Like don't come with this nigga.
Yeah. Have they had a issue come out from Batman that has been dedicated to the Joker? Because if that is the case, I have not read that.
I don't believe
just
so.
I think the first couple issues mentioned that like when Joker was like get Bane, it mentions like he's got the money, he's done the training. So basically he's got Batman's original origin where he's the one with the money, the one with the resources, and the one with like all this training going on. But it's like the thing for the Ultimate Universe, they call him Joker because he doesn't think anything is funny. Like, he's always business. So they're like, oh, it's the Joker over here because he never laughs. So that's like Rob said, like, he's commanding the room. It's like there's small little jazz people are like paying attention to, and he's like, oh, I take things like very seriously. And that shit is that's just gonna be crazy.
What I really like about how they did the Joker is, I don't know if you guys have ever read, I highly recommend it if you have.
Three Jokers.
But if you ever read White Knight by Sean Murphy. It's a Batman series. Yeah, it's one where essentially the Joker, the reason why I say it reminds me of it is because the Joker in that is normal. He doesn't have the Joker serum anymore. That's essentially the plot line of the story. And what's really cool about that story is the Joker is just as influential as he is when he has the Joker toxin serum as he does when he doesn't, without saying much more. This one kind of took what feels like that normalized aesthetic of the Joker and the White Knight, and to D's point, he got the money of Bruce Wayne. And on top of that, we know that there's some form of like chemical influence. We just aren't sure exactly how it plays out because it doesn't play out like the traditional Joker serum, where this is something where clearly he's faced with it all the time, right? It's different. And it's like, that's the part I'm really curious. Everything that they've done with the Absolute Universe has been like, I'm ready to see content at this point. I know I'm being presumptuous.
We get his origin story, I think, in issue 15 for Batman. They were saying.
Oh wow! When
Joker.
Are we on now?
For right now, I'm gonna get this release date.
12 or 13, I believe, right?
Is it really that far ahead? I mean, I caught up, but I didn't realize
they said
it was
Wonder
that far
Woman's
along.
supposed to pop up too in one of the issues
in December. Yep.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in Gotham first.
Supposedly,
which is
Superman
crazy.
In the main DC universe, in the Prime universe, I believe, actually got a glimpse of Absolute Superman.
Yeah, from my bad. I was gonna say because that's why I was wondering when we saw Darkseid in the Martian Manhunter issue, where he was like Martian Manhunter was like you see like the creator of the universe, and it's Darkseid. But that's the thing, like reading that other comic when Darkseid got the Spectre and he had all that power, and then created a universe to like battle against the Justice League, and now they're seeing that he's creating this created this universe. That crossover is going to be crazy. They said that's really what the Absolute Universe is for. It's really going to be like a Darkseid army. Because, damn, I can't really spoil shit because Tina read of it.
My thing is you can spoil it. I'm still going to go sit down and read it. It doesn't matter.
Figure out ways to be able to talk about some of the stuff. I think.
Well, Joker was like alluded to something like that too, about like the Omega particle that they found, and like understanding like what's going on. And then, so Joker and then Martian Manhunter, because this Martian Manhunter can't say where he's from. He's telling John's like, I'm from so far away. The only word that would make sense for you would be Martian because it means alien. So I was like, with Martian Manhunter, it seems like it could be like a remnant from him in the main DC timeline that's like probably connected to Darkseid somehow. I don't know. But that's what this whole thing is about. It's really like a universe where Darkseid is like getting the army together to battle the other Justice League that's battling against him.
My big question.
Oh, my bad.
No, you can go.
I was going to ask, out of these Absolute comics, which one, outside of the Supermans, Batmans, probably even the Wonder Woman, I call those like the Holy Trinity of DC, I guess you could say. Some people would mix out Wonder Woman with Flash, so on and so forth. Which ones do y'all think really stand out to y'all story-wise? I haven't really been able to...
D said it already. Green Lantern. Green Lantern is
that a black lady? That's the Green Lantern?
Nigga.
They have...
Yeah,
so they
Green
have...
Lantern?
Yeah. But like
I heard they just talked about the Red
dope,
Lanterns, didn't they?
Yes, they did. What makes it so dope is they flip the constructs and the meanings of them on their head, which is like, it don't seem like it'd be the craziest thing, but like, if just knowing like the traditional universe is like Green Lantern is willpower, the Red Lantern is like rage, the Yellow Lantern is, what is it, like envy?
Fear.
Fear. Thank you.
They got
right,
Black Lanterns
Parallax
too, don't they?
is a part of that. Then they got the whole spectrum. And it's just like, yo, like, as long as I've been alive, I always looked at the Green Lantern as being like this system where it's like green willpower, red rage, yellow fear, blue hope or something, pink love. Like, it's conditioned. And then they came along with this, and the setup for it, yo, like, that's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff, bro, they gotta start making this into like a movie. I know I'm being presumptuous, but like, because the way that it start is it's kind of like like when you think about how we get introduced to Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, like the traditional story of it, it's an alien like invasion in a way, like a crash. Like that crash landing is like, it's not an invasion in the way of like there's a whole bunch of different aliens coming along the way, but like it's this one ship crash landing, and the whole story with that, with the the pilot dying and Hal Jordan finding him, and then he ends up giving him his ring because he has great willpower. They took even that aspect of it and made it into this thing where like it almost feels like a world at war. Remember those alien movies that came out? They had like the book on it. It almost kind of gives a feel like that. Like there's this unexplainable alien event. The alien comes down here and is not really explaining anything. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's just the very first issue that I'm really spoiling. The alien comes on Earth. It's confusion. It's like realistic. It's genuinely it's the most realistic I've ever seen with the Green Lantern mythos. Like when I was younger and I saw Hal Jordan going up to the alien and etc., I always thought that was weird. Like, you telling me you just know, like, you just cooling with this idea of this alien that crash landed. Like, this is a way bigger deal than you making it. But for the sake of the regular Hal Jordan narrative, they just kind of glossed over that point. And this one, it's not really glossing over any of that. Like, it's what is going on. And for the large part of it, none of them know what's going on. And all of this, like, tragedy is happening, and you watch how different people kind of react to everything, and the way that plays into, again, we got to remember the rings is all about like feelings and emotions and different things that you experience. So as they react into this, it plays a larger part into exactly how this whole spectrum in this absolute universe, this dark side led absolute universe, actually plays out. I really do. If Sage, if you haven't read it as well, I really don't. I want you to just read it. I don't want to go any further than that. I feel like I've already even said possibly too much, but it's amazing. Like that one in Martian Manhunter, it's a very intellectual read too, which I appreciate. Like, you really challenge reading those two.
Yeah, gotcha. I was gonna say the same thing with the Green Lantern. It is a different take on like the emotional spectrum, because it's not emotional. It's more like different levels of enlightenment or understanding. So it's like you have green, you have red, you have gold, which isn't yellow, and then you have like the Black Hands. And what's crazy is like each character that we know in the DC main universe is on a different plane of like understanding or existence for like for the Lantern Corps or whatever. So it's definitely a good read, but I would say Flash is okay. It's decent because he's still trying to figure out how to use his power, because it's not like there is no Speed Force. So it's kind of like, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's like it's very different. But like now I was saying, Martian Manhunter, once the fighting starts, because at first he's not really like he's not shape shifting at all or anything. It's just a Martian that's in his head, or it's like manifests himself where he can see it and he can like read people's minds and understand, okay, this person is mad. Like, oh, this dude is mad because his parents got divorced 2 years ago and then his wife just passed away. Like it goes into all these different things. But then once the Martian starts fighting, he's like, they fight in like in metaphors. And the way they fight is just so different. Like that fight was crazy with the villains. I can't spoil it too much, but there's like the use of superpowers they use for telepathy and like going in people's minds and like jumping into the future is very crazy. And then once John is like, okay, Martian, like I trust you, like you like take over or whatever, that's when shit start getting real for real. So I would say Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter is like neck and neck for me. They like right under Absolute Batman for real.
Who do you think?
And the wild part is not. I really don't think it's. I was, and that's exactly what I was just about to go into. Batman. Look, the Batman story is always one where there's been decades of people. Like if we go all the way back to like Alan Moore and wow, who was it? Frank Miller. We go back to like those eras of Batman. Like Batman has about 50 years of just like really good narrative to where I feel like it's easier to just make the story with that specific character really good, and it is really good, but it's really hard to like say if there's any one. Batman is the only one where it's like it sticks out a little bit further than the rest. But Wonder Woman is good. This Wonder Woman take is different.
Yeah,
like bro, it is. Yo, like they flipped Wonder Woman. They flipped everybody. Like it's so well too, because like it's hard. Like when you flip them, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I know this is a side story, right? Like, to give you an example, when we got the story of Superman Prime, which is for the most part one of the more beloved versions of Superman, like a lot of people I've seen throughout the years, even back when we were kids, a lot of people like the whole Superman Prime story, and I get why, but I was always able to identify this as being like a side story, a other character. The way that the Ultimate Universe is set up, it's like, yes, I know it's a different universe, but it's more of a retelling than it is a different, like a whole different character or a whole different setup. Like Superman, again, going back to Superman Prime is the lone superhero in his universe. That's very different from the world that Superman is in the modern age Superman that we know of. That's very different. Very, very, very different. That's not the same story. It's not the same feel. With this, again, it's not, let's make a completely different story with the same character, even though it is. It's more like, let's just retell this with like different different things that's kind of not even changed, adjusted. It's like everything is an adjusting. How Batman's whole situation with his parents went, adjusted. It's like, did they change it? Yes, but it's not really the change that you so much more focused on. It's how does the adjustment play in his life? With Superman, they don't change the fact that he lands in Kansas. They keep that completely the same, but they retell exactly what the story was like with Krypton. With Wonder Woman, they don't take her away from what is it, Themyscira? That's the place that she's from, right? Yeah, they don't take her away from Themyscira, quote unquote, because I don't want to spoil it, but they retell exactly what the Themyscirian setup and story is. I like, that's the part that's so attractive to me about this absolute universe. It makes it so hard for me to say, is there any one better than the other? I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically it really is off what you prefer to read. Each one, like you said, like Martian Manhunter is more intellectual. Flash is like a thriller. Superman is really like that alien coming to Earth story, finding some shit out. Batman is like Sherlock Holmes on steroids. And
yeah.
And then Green Lantern is really like, it don't even feel like the Green Lantern from the comics. Only thing that is the same is like the symbol. So you getting all different types of retellings. And it's like for example, like Batman T, you know how he's a billionaire, playboy, whatever. It's like this Batman is a civil engineer. So his suit is something that he built himself. So it's like, and he knows the city. It just makes, this universe just makes sense as to why shit goes the way it does. Because you can't say Batman was gone for a certain amount of years and trained under here, and now he knows everything going on in Gotham because he got money. It's like, that seems like a cop out. But if you're saying this nigga worked as an engineer for 10 years, or not 10 years, he worked as an engineer, he worked in, as an electrician, he worked this and this. Now you understand why his suit looks like that. You understand why he moves the way he does, why he's so big. And it's like, damn, like pause, yeah, facts.
And then like with Superman, because you just made me think of something else. The idea of him crash landing, original story, the idea of him crash landing in Kansas on a farm, it's always been one of them things where it's like, okay, I'm like, I don't want to be offensive when I say this. You would think the people who would receive Superman in these circumstances would not know how to process this setup. They wouldn't necessarily handle it as cautiously as they had in this comic book.
Exactly.
But the way that they do it in this one is like they make that whole story, they make that whole portion of Superman's story make 50 times more sense. It's that groundedness in each one has that level of just nature behind it that works so well. Like every single one of them, like I could believe this. It's not like something where you just kind of gotta go or like how in movies we'll say like, oh, they have to allow a level of comedic relief. You don't. It's not like you have to allow a lot of comic relief. If we were to change the wordplay a little bit here, you don't. You could really just rock with the narrative as it is and go. Yeah, I could actually see that. Like if this were to happen and we wanted to get this closer to almost what it would feel like in more real world circumstances, yeah, this does it a lot better than, oh yeah, he went away and trained for all of these and came back, or this alien crash landed. In the case of Green Lantern and Superman, this alien crash landed out of a rocket ship. And everything is just copacetic. Like, nah, this is not that. This is like, no, we gonna give answers to these things that used to have that comic relief. Now it's explained. And I don't. It's just really like I love it. I need to see something from this. It's kind of like like for me, it's like anime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you read Absolute Green Lantern, the newest one?
Yes. That with the Red Lantern, because I know T had brought up the whole thing with the Red Lanterns. Yeah, because that's where we got that, right? It's no newer one that came out since then, right?
No,
that just came out.
And you see, because you get the Black Lantern, well, not Black Lantern, but you see who popped up at the end, though, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so I feel like, and that felt like some Invincible shit too.
Yes.
That one didn't feel like no DC. It was like, oh, like this is the type of shit that's gonna get bloody.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, I'm really trying to figure. I think Green Lantern gonna end up being one of the most powerful besides Superman, but I really am intrigued to see more of the Martian Manhunter side, just to see what that is gonna play out as.
And knowing, and does it? Because you know how like before it was like Martian Manhunter is as strong, or could even be in some cases stronger than Superman. It's just he got this whole thing with fire, and that's kind of like his kryptonite, but it's a lot more accessible than a diamond stone. So Superman always should come out on top, especially given that one of his powers is he can make fire from his eyes. He should win. With this one, it's like is the physical side of Green Lantern gonna be so? Because when you're reading Absolute Superman, and it's like he's going through all of these things. Yo, D, also the Fortress of Solitude. Oh my, yo,
Oh
did y'all
yeah,
did
yeah.
Sage, you been up to date with the Absolute Superman?
Not the past couple of
Oh
comics,
my,
no.
That shit was crazy.
that would like I sat there, I said, yo, I knew the name. I never thought about it like this. This is so much, it's so stupid, but it's also so like fire because it actually lines up with what it's called. It's like, bruh. But anyways, the way that they show Superman and Absolute Superman, it's like this, yo, like he really got, like he cracked. That's what it felt like. He's cracked, like he's really powerful. And it's like, are we gonna get the physical side with the Martian and Manhunter? Are we gonna get that testament of how physically strong he is, or is it something where they just gonna really exaggerate the level of strength behind his telepathy? Because I feel like if the way that it's been set up so far, if they did go in the way of just we're gonna really maximize the idea of his telepathy, I almost would think that'd be more interesting to see play out than if they have him go with like feats of strength. It's really I like it a lot.
They should make it animated. They should start coming out with the animated versions of
I
these
wish
things.
that they would. Dude,
Bro,
DC
and like the movie version would be OD. Like if it wasn't animated,
nigga, especially who they fucking teased at the end of Absolute Evil. I'm not gonna lie, this is not to get political. I just think that this is what they're gonna do. I think that nigga that they showed at the end of Absolute Evil, I think he's going the white nationalist route. It's no reason why that nigga had that fit on, because that's not how we're used to seeing this nigga.
But we also don't know how his backstory is different.
I was gonna say it's more like he got a Pa Kent vibe too, though. Like he got a farm boy type of look.
But we know this nigga based off of who contacted him. We know this nigga's evil, so he can't have a
Batman fights white nationalists too, though, in the next comic.
Yeah,
he do.
It's gonna become the question of how though. Like, how is he evil?
Because I think he's gonna be. Not to get too political, but we see the Elon Musk of the world. Let's just flip that on his head. Let's imagine Lex Luthor is the person that's at the helm of these type of things. But all of these things that he has created for the world, he's using in the back end to try and push his agenda. Just like what Elon Musk is doing, just like what Mark Zuckerberg, all of these people.
So like the new movie Joker just replaced the monkeys with real people.
Wait, say that again?
Okay, Frieza.
Yeah, like so like the
Lex
Luthor we just got in the movie, in the most recent Superman movie.
Yeah.
Just replace the monkeys with real people.
What do you mean though?
What do you mean like? Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where you know how the monkeys were saying like all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like targeting Superman in all of these ways, but it was because Lex Luthor was forcing them to. Instead of forcing the monkeys to, it's real people.
He wouldn't even need real people.
And he formulated. So how? Okay, so how? What would he be using?
The same way. Again, not to get too political. Elon Musk uses bots. The majority of the traffic that's on Twitter right now is from bots. As long as he programs the bot specifically to reflect a certain sentiment, such as white nationalism, it's going to be proliferated throughout the entire database. He could be technically doing the same type of things just based off of the fit. He had like a country vibe OD. I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but we tend to see folks that's out in the rural areas that tend to skew a little bit more on the racist side, probably, or ignorant side, probably just because they're not familiar with people of different races out in those areas. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he probably has like a silo where all his laboratory is, and that nigga goes crazy, and that motherfucker probably got his mech suit in there, all of this other stuff. He has all of these other ventures that brings him the capital, and he uses that to basically flush his money to do his biddings on the side, influence politicians to skew a certain way so that he can make more money, get more influence, so on and so forth type of thing.
I see where you're going with it, but it's like he looked the same way Superman's adoptive parents looked though too. Like, and they're not that way, but I mean he is, you know, evil, but it's like this iteration of him, we don't know how he's evil either though.
The difference though, Pa Kent and Ma Kent, they came like from the same like normal background for people that live in those areas. You catch my drift in terms of financially, especially.
That's the thing. We already seen billionaire lose all of their wealth in this world and had to be a civil engineer. Who's to say that it's not the same circumstances for this?
If he didn't have that money, them niggas wouldn't have even contacted him. If they needed, especially for the problems that they're about to face right now, they need somebody.
That's what that's what I'm thinking. But maybe here's my thing is, what if it weren't necessarily? Nah, you're right. Because I mean, to sit at that table,
you have to have
sit at that table, and for the character behind Ra's al Ghul to say there's one person missing, and he heard everything. Yeah, no, I didn't. I was trying not to spoil it, so I said the guy behind Ra's al Ghul. It's okay. It's all right. I already did it once. I already did it once, trying to keep up with the mental jumping jacks. T said it's okay. It don't matter. But anyways, yeah, Brainiac, he heard everything that happened in that meeting, right? And after that meeting, he said, there's one person missing. He evaluated everyone. He said, this person can keep this person in check. This person can keep this person in check. And then when he got to still somebody who's a major question mark, but Joker in it all, he said, I know who would be the best person to bring in, almost as like a counterbalance to the Joker. And it's this guy. And it's weird, though. It's weird, though.
Joker's tone is so serious, too. Like, his tone is serious, his demeanor, and then it's like with Lex Luthor. When you saw Lex Luthor, his banter with his wife before the phone rang, it was like, this is just a country dude. And you're like, okay, who is this? Like, that's the thing. We didn't even know who it was till he said his name at the end. So it's like, this don't even seem like the Lex we know. Who is this nice dude with this woman that's like chilling, that's just vibing right now? So now if Brainiac's like, yeah, y'all missing this piece, it's like, is he like because Ra's al Ghul is not like no fatherly type of figure. No. So is Lex a more warm feeling type of dude? Like, where Joker is more of a stop joking around, I need to get this shit done. Lex is like, okay, there might be some time to like, hey, let's relax. Or he's probably somebody that's not afraid of the Joker.
And see, I was gonna say a religious aspect, but did the Joker in his monologue not give off that he kind of has that like religious kind of
Omega particles? Yeah, when they found that Omega particle, so he's like a more divine thing, and that's why it looked like when he was talking, that's what really I was like, yeah, this shit is gonna get crazy, because his eyes start getting all wide, and his like he was like adjusting his collar. I was like, okay, but Rob got an interesting point, like what kind of Lex are we getting? But from that dialogue, it seemed like he was way too nice. So it's like now we got to figure out what kind of evil, or what evil is. How is he evil enough to even be thought of to be in that role?
Right. That's the only...
and everything is off the board. Like again, you can't assume he a billionaire,
and we can't assume. Well, we have to assume he has resources. So let's say he has access to certain resources, but we can't forget this ain't evil in a sense. This is their Justice League. So how are they going to be justice and be the first on the scene and share these resources with each other? Like they have their Hall of Justice or their watchtower, so to speak. So it's like we looking at it as absolute evil, but that was a Thunderbolts type of title change. It's Absolute Justice League. So we got Lex, Joker, Ra's al Ghul, Thawne, Hector Hammond. They're in the belief that they're bringing justice to the world by keeping things in check. So it's like, are we to say he's actually evil, or is he a man of justice and honor? Kind of like Rob was saying, like how you have like some of these white nationalists that think, you know, put America first is our way or the highway type of shit.
And it's just another form of the whole justice, the justice of the world, where it's not, it's hypocritical in its acts and ways, but it preaches itself as being justice.
Yeah.
Oh. And it's just, dude, him on a farm is so different. It's so different. I'm not used to that. Like the idea of Lex Luthor being on a farm. It's just,
but even Brainiac's origin was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not, I'm not used to that.
Yeah. He wasn't even like, I was like, this don't even seem like no smart Brainiac. You're like, okay, he likes to play dumb too. So it's a lot of shit going on with that. But yeah, this is gonna be wild.
This is a roller coaster. This is by far, yeah, like, bro, like the closest thing I can say that the last time I had this sentiment was probably AXE, where it just felt like this is going to end crazy. I don't know
AXE?
what this is. Avengers X and Eternals.
Okay.
Which was by Hickman. And I guess you could kind of count the whole Krakoa arc, but that just went by the wayside a little bit at the end of that. I don't know whether they just started that and didn't have a game plan, but that's what it felt like when you got to the end of that. But the AXE part, which was again like our introduction into all of that, bro, that's the last time that a comic genuinely made me feel like that outside. Like since then it's been this. And you just know this about to be messy. This is about to be a messy conclusion. I don't know how if they supposed to be meeting the original universe and like counterparts and whatnot. Even Batman, who is serious and like put together and supposed to have a plan for everything, I don't think he can see his counterpart, who is facing the Incredible Hulk Bane, who is facing a Killer Croc that looked like Godzilla's baby.
Thanks.
Like, I don't know. And mind you, it's still supposed to be Bruce Wayne. So it's like all that, I planned ahead of time and all of that. Nah, bruh. Bane in this universe do it as much as the Batman in the original universe, let alone Joker. We didn't even get to see how deep this whole thing go with Joker. If Batman in this universe overcome his adversaries, what is the regular Batman to him? Don't get me started with Superman. If this Superman is supposed to be stronger than Superman Prime, than regular Superman, if that's potentially what we get in, which is something that's been heavily hinted at, could possibly be the case, given both of their roles in the Superman story and as it ties into the absolute universe. Because I know in Superman, I'm not sure what other comics are giving us a kind of a introduction into both the familiarities between both universes. But I know in Superman they are. Superman can't handle Superman Prime. If this Superman is stronger than Superman Prime, he ain't nothing he gonna be able to do about him.
Yeah.
Not a single thing. Then Wonder Woman, bruh, she got Medusa's head on her shoulders and can turn, like, come on, bruh. She got a whole arm dedicated to the darkness. Then Green Lantern, we ain't even talking about the same constructs or emotional center pieces that you get in the traditional story. You ain't even messing with the same thing in that regard. So what are they about to be able? What is that supposed to be like? And that's why my conclusion is, I think that the forces that Darkseid have are not gonna be the regular Justice League. I think some of them will be Justice League members, but I think that some of the people that we've seen these absolute stories behind are gonna end up teaming up with the regular heroes. There's no way possible I see the regular DC universe being able to beat their counterparts in this case. They gotta be teaming up with them.
Mm-hmm.
They have to.
Yeah.
I think they've been hinting towards that crossover event, but nonetheless, if y'all haven't tapped into this absolute universe, I need you to tap. We all need you to tap into it, as well as the Ultimate Comics universe from Marvel as well. Both of them are on some heaters right now. We could talk real quick about Peacemaker. I don't want to go too far into it. Season 2 so far, I believe it has one more episode left, and then we're done with season 2. But honestly, as somebody who doesn't look too good for doesn't think highly of James Gunn projects like that, I think it's a pretty good story. I'm not gonna lie. Like, great acting, great CGI, great story pieces, invigorating ideas to use from the DC comics. A lot of what I guess Marvel fans have an issue with, James Gunn isn't afraid to use those comic book storylines, but also give them new twists to it, which is, I guess, what a lot of Marvel fans have been missing. But yeah, T, I believe you're the only other one that's watched Peacemaker, right? What's your thoughts so far?
So far, this season's fire. I like the way they spun it to include the new Superman storyline into this with the what's that thing called, the Pocket Universe.
Mm-hmm.
That has been a flowing plot in this show, with it creating its own side story out of this, where it's not really pertaining too much into Superman, but it still has its little sprinkles of it in there. Especially when you see him go into the Pocket Universe, finds himself and has like his own story.
Wait, no, so wait,
this is episode 1. I'm pretty sure they've seen episode 1.
Yeah, I was just about to say I saw episode.
I'm not going deep into it.
I saw episode 1, and he ain't. This is good.
Yeah, I'm not getting too far. So because everybody's seen him step into that Pocket Universe, and so it's like the way they developed a story out of just this moment to make it a full series. You see the struggle that Peacemaker goes through, but when he goes to this other place, he has another story for himself there. And it's kind of cool how they try to include all that, and how they try to bring in the words of SpongeBob, bring it around town back to where it fits perfectly in the DC EU. That I'm kind of looking forward. Like, I've been reading that the way this one might end, it will be the end of Peacemaker, but he will still be in the DC EU. But I strongly hope they don't, because I actually want to see John Cena like run this for at least 2 more seasons. Like, let this be like that side story in between these DC movies, where it's still,
the popularity is there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like it. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea, but I will still. I think I should at least. Still,
I think he's gonna.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised that you don't like it now, because don't you like The Boys?
I do, but it's the thing with The Boys is it's easier for me to be invested in the characters in The Boys than it has been for me to get invested in the characters for Peacemaker. They're like, that's why I'm very similar to D, at least in regards to like wanting the serious, because I just feel like it's easier for me personally, it's easier for me to get into like the background and not even background, just the interest in the character when they are more serious as opposed to humorous. Now, that's not to say that just like oftentimes when the humor is there to the level that they are in like James Gunn projects, what he is really good at doing is not letting the humor be an excuse to not develop a character. That's where I really appreciate how he does his stories. It's not that it's not there. It's just harder for me to pay attention to it when there's so much humor interjected.
I can say this from Peacemaker. My favorite character right now is Adrian. Everything this man has done this whole season, I never really figured him to be comic relief.
Hell no.
But they did a good job with the comic relief for him.
Not that last episode.
Yes, that last episode. That joke was hilarious.
that last episode.
What you like? You like spiders too? You like jellyfish?
That last episode is crazy. But I guess I do think he kind of failed on trying to convey one of the points where I don't want to get into spoiler territory because it is the second to last episode. It's a decision. Some shit is going on, and there's a certain character that comes off and says, I could do the best I can within my life, but I don't necessarily care about the other shit. I don't necessarily agree with the other shit that's going on around me, type of thing. And I guess James wanted to kind of convey like a sort of a sentiment to humans would be like, we can do the best we can with the things that we can control, type of thing. And hopefully that changes. I feel like he could have did that a little bit better. Like, cause this character isn't no slouch. He's not no bitch ass nigga. Like, he could still make even a minute amount of change. And I feel like it was just a cop out. But other than that, I feel like it's been pretty good so far.
What's that green dude name?
The Judo Master.
He started I didn't like him in season 1. Season 2, he grew on to me.
Judo Master pretty good.
He grew on to me. All I gotta say is one thing. I've watched what's supposed to come for the final episode, and there's one line that was said, and it's not really going to mess up the storyline. One character says, "I am the angel of death." I'm not gonna go further with the rest of the dialogue, but it really solidifies like how this person is within the DCEU with everything that goes on. And it's like he can't help it. It just things just happen. So I'm looking forward to see how. Go ahead.
What do you rate it so far?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yep.
I'll say 8.5 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. This season surprised me a lot.
All right, I'm gonna keep watching.
Surprised me a lot. It's just so crazy. You gonna like it. You gotta give it like a couple episodes, and then you go.
I got one more line that's not gonna ruin it. Oh my god, a black one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do kind of know where that's coming.
Oh, you seen that clip?
I just don't know all. No, it's not that. I'm pretty confident I saw the second.
It's
or
a
third
black
episode.
Peacemaker.
Nah.
No. It's
nah.
It's like second or third episode, because I think I'm a little further than I thought I was. One of those episodes though, when he visit his family, I'm kind of getting the vibe.
What vibe?
You ain't gotta talk about it right here.
I'm trying to figure out what vibe he's talking about.
Is it racism?
His daddy vibe. His daddy vibe.
Is it racism?
Yeah, no. Honestly, no. I think I know where you're trying to lead with it. No.
It
Rob
doesn't
knows what I'm
happen
talking
in
about.
that. It doesn't happen in that space, because I'm like, oh, this whole universe.
His dad is the Terminator 2 dude, right? The nigga from Terminator 2?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Terminator 2.
I don't know.
Terminator 2, the liquid Terminator. T, you know what I'm talking about? Come on.
I know you're talking about the T-1000.
That's Peacemaker Dad.
I think so.
It is. Wow.
Okay.
Robert Patrick.
Y'all better tune in to Terminator 2.
My bad. I didn't even peep.
Yeah, I gotta go back on the Terminator.
No, that shit a 10 out of 10 for real. Y'all, I don't even like movies.
You got it. That can't be pass interference.
No, that's pass interference.
I only got to season 1. I got to season 2 of Peacemaker. I ain't watched season 1, but that opening scene was OD. Or the orgy scene was OD.
Yeah, that's like stuff like that. It just be like, bro,
come on, no. You cannot have that.
See, we just know you're a deviant.
No. For Niall to say that, and yet how far did you get in the boys?
I know. I didn't like that in the boys.
But T, the boys joint was so teased, and we saw like we all seen nudity in TV shows such as like Spartacus. You know, it was always in there. But a full blown.
But the Hero-gasm episode was the same as that. The Hero-gasm was the same as that.
Yeah, it was. But I didn't like that. It was
literally the same. And Hero-gasm was worse than that.
But I mean, T, nobody was like, hey, tune in for Hero-gasm. And this one was like, hey.
Oh, no. No. They were saying tune in because, like,
but I'm saying you gotta, like, T, if we talk about, like, yo, tune in and watch Peacemaker. T, now what if you turn that on with your kids? If they was like 10 years old.
But the thing is,
or somebody was like, I want to watch, or like, let's say somebody's like, their 10-year-old son gets to play Grand Theft Auto. He's like, I want to watch Peacemaker. And he's seeing some shit like that. You can be like, oh, I got to explain a lot to this little nigga.
Here's the thing.
That's why I don't like that they put him in the
TV,
game.
But it says TVMA. I am not letting my child watch TVMA.
But to D's point, like when you put in the character in Fortnite that's being played by the kids. If a kid just happened to have, again, that's on the parent's responsibility.
I'm just gonna lie. It's John Cena in a superhero outfit. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's John Cena in a superhero outfit. You wanna watch WWE?
No, but like those scenes, it's so overkill.
But I'm not going. I would never have my child watching Peacemaker. I would never.
That's fair. But it's so overkill in terms of like the graphic, like it's just not like, what does it add to the story? Like when people start doing stuff like that, where it's just kind of like, all right, this don't really. That's why I ain't even really care that much about Hero-gasm, because it's like this really not needed.
But
like,
it's in the comics. It's in the comics. They just trying to stay accurate.
Which is why.
If it wasn't in the comics, and they added that, then I would say that's not needed. I can add that.
Well, with Peacemaker wasn't needed. Was that in the comic books for Peacemaker?
I don't know. I've never read a Peacemaker comic, but my thing is, I'm pretty sure that was not in it. But with the level of immaturity with the jokes in the show, I wouldn't put it past them that this was in this episode. When I seen it, I'm like, okay, because I seen Hero-gasm.
Right.
That's just how I am with when it comes to stuff like that. I just like, oh, okay.
I get it. It's just, I don't know. Like that's why it's just with me. I always just really like the more serious, like thrill. I like thrillers. I like things like that. Like, if you ask me what type of an action movie do I want to watch, I want to watch an action thriller. Yeah, I'm going to always say an action thriller before I'm going to say an action comedy. 10 out of 10 times. You give me 10 examples of action thriller, I'm going to look at those with interest. And that's not to say the action comedy in some of those instances may not be extremely better. But I just know it is what it is. It's cool. I'll get, like I said, I know that I should finish it. I've heard nothing but good things. I will finish it.
Since you got past that in that first episode, you're gonna be fine for the rest. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, nothing else was crazy. Nothing else was crazy that I saw from what I've seen so far. It wasn't. It's just like I said, the humorous characters and like driven narratives and whatnot, it's
It don't do it
I know
for me.
people like that in real life, and I'll be like, bro, like I feel you having a good time, but I need them serious characters. It's like, listen, I ain't having a good time. I need something changed around here.
I'm just saying, I like to have a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
Not like that, Dodo.
Nah, I was trying to segue over to Ghost of Yote.
Yeah, how do you
Because
like
we
it?
already
You're the
had
only
an
one that's
hour.
played it.
T
Yeah,
has
you're
played
the
a
one
little
that's
bit
played
of
it.
it. So
I
far.
played
T
a
has
little
played
bit.
it.
I played maybe like an hour of it. I like the way it starts out. Cinemax is fire. When I started playing, I didn't really have the full experience because I was playing on the portal. But visually, it's stunning. Galloping through the flowers, like how everything is really detailed with the weather. You can see the wind blowing and the flowers are moving in the right direction, the same direction. And as you're flowing through, it's like you can see the horse as the horse is going through like that grass. It's leaving marks. Like they did really good with attention to detail. The story itself, even though I didn't fully unfold it, I pretty much got the gist of where it's going to go. The combat's pretty much the same, but it's more fluent and they did their thing with it. Um, Other than that, like I'm enjoying it. It'll probably take me about a month to get through it because I already know me when it comes to choosing to play a single player game or multiplayer. I usually go multiplayer. So I will get this game done like I did Ghost of Tsushima because I'm looking forward to the multiplayer that they will be adding in 2026 for it. Um, so if it's the same as the one for Ghost of Tsushima, you have the choice of being a samurai, someone that uses a bow. You can use like different weapons for the 4 different classes that you'll be able to use to complete the challenges. It's pretty dope. And the one cool thing is you have the ability to play it in 4 different ways. No subtitles, subtitles. I forgot what the third one was, and then the fourth one is like playing it in black and white with lo-fi music playing in the background. So as you're like galloping on a horse, like lo-fi hip hop music will play.
Oh, that's cool.
As you're like going through the game. So it's like you're playing an old Japanese like movie.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
If you've been tapped into Ghost of Tsushima, I feel like you would thoroughly enjoy it. As of right now, I feel like this joint is an 8.59 out of 10. As of it has to
You
be
really
super
like
immersed.
the first one, right?
I like the first one. We have its competitor Assassin's Creed Shadows technically dropped earlier this year, and off rip, even though Shadows did captivate me early on very very swiftly and it was cool, it doesn't compare to Ghost of Yote and how it captivated
it doesn't
me.
compare to Ghost of Tsushima.
Captured me. I don't know. I might have a disagreement in that way, in that sense. But overall, I'm very happy. We're gonna keep. If you didn't know, I streamed a little bit of it earlier today on the Squad NERO channel, as well as my own Twitch channel. So tune in on the Squad NERO podcast YouTube. Hit that noti bell to make sure that you are up to date with all of these streams. For the Ghost of Yote, we might be even playing some other games as well. Just dropped $70. So if you got the money, go ahead. If you don't, just wait on it a little bit. Some quick news real quick for Microsoft and EA. If you're out of the loop, we now know that Microsoft is increasing its Game Pass to $30, if I'm not mistaken, and that's its premium Game Pass.
Yep.
So getting your games on launch day, such as Call of Duty and everything like that, has to increase to $30. And also, EA is being bought out by a Saudi-backed money group. I can't remember what they're called.
I think it's the same people that bought WWE.
With Jared Kushner as well. If you don't know, that's the son-in-law for the president as of right now. So, and it was 50 billion or 55 billion or something like that. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to have to or incentivize EA to do a lot more microtransactions, something that already plagues their games as is. Um, Recent or upcoming releases for games, they have Battlefield that's coming out, I believe, a week or two. So they have all of these things. We're starting to see companies more and more start to dig into their customers' pockets because the consumers didn't make them pay in a financial sense. So now they're just going to keep doubling down, especially with these big Saudi-backed groups or these big financial groups coming in and swooping them, paying for them outright. Not for gamers' pleasure or anything like that, but for their own monetary gains. How y'all feeling about it so far, though? I don't think only T has an Xbox in here.
I don't have an Xbox no more. I have a PC.
Oh, you ain't got an Xbox no more?
No, because all my games I can play on PC. That's through Xbox, through Game Pass and stuff.
It's no bueno. No bueno.
That's the simple. Go to the front. I'm almost done.
The simple terms of it is no bueno for all of these things. If y'all want to tap into that, just look up EA being bought by a Saudi-backed group. I don't believe it's supposed to happen until next year, until it finalizes. Obviously, these deals, well, all this money takes some time for it to actually fully process. Microsoft increasing the Game Pass, I don't know if that's an immediate thing or if they're going to unveil that later on in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check real quick.
As so long as Sony stayed solid,
effective immediately in October.
Oh, great.
Yeah. The sad thing is, if Microsoft is doing it, Sony is probably thinking, well, if the people at Microsoft will be willing to pay that money increase, why not we increase ours too? They already technically have the multiple tiered subscriptions for the PlayStation Plus already. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started to increase their prices too. It's the way of the game now, and until consumers come together, such as Players Alliance, tap in with us. Let us know if you want to tap in with us. Such as Players Alliance and various other collections, it's just going to keep going. 2K is going to keep being 2K. The Apple of basketball games. Madden is going to keep being the microtransaction hungry establishment that it is, and all of these other various games. Now it's a fear that it's going to trickle down into all the other games, and that's something that we don't want going forward. Do y'all have any ideas or anything that y'all want to talk about for this?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If it's something where I could see where there's a lot of corruptness that I could see kind of following through with the gaming world, I just hope that it get monitored, like to some extent. Somebody step in and say, no, we making this for generations to be able to play, that start at young ages and go all the way up to old ages. We've been around for a while now. I don't know. And I guess, Sage, you kind of always talk about this, is like where we can have a physical impact on different things. If, like, I'm just spitballing here, if Nintendo were to be an example where they kept it where these are, even though I know that they got their own kind of foot in this too, but if they said, we're going to make sure that these games can be in households and can be utilized by families, as it's been a growing industry throughout all of the years, and because of that, you see an uptick in the sales on Nintendo's side, I wouldn't be mad at that. I would appreciate that if something like that could happen.
Crazy thing is, everybody's trying to make so much money that if we're gonna see that, we're gonna see that probably from lesser known studios that actually care about the gamers in mind. It seems like all these big corporations, it's a little too late for us to try and put our foot down financially. We still technically could. It's a slim chance, but at this point, niggas is already too addicted to the game. They got people that studies the psychologies of gamblers at casinos working on 2K to figure out how to find a model that's perfect for them to capitalize on the microtransactions in 2K. Never letting you know how much money actual VC is, but making you spend money on it. People have spent thousands of dollars on 2K. Thousands. And it's just a predatory system that's gonna keep going. But luckily, with people there is power, so we just gotta keep that in mind. If y'all interested to fight back as well, again, shout out Players Alliance. Please tap in if y'all want to tap in with the Discord. Even if y'all are kind of on the fence about it, the least you could do is just listen to what they gotta say, and maybe there's something that can fit with you. And you be able to lend your voice to the cause or what have you. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty, and we don't have to spend too long on this. It's already an hour and 11. We probably will because it's Marvel, sadly. If you haven't known, with the news going around, obviously there's been some big hiccups that Disney has been going through as of recently. Jimmy Kimmel, one of their largest, I guess, stars. Night news. I don't know what it's called. Anchors, I guess you say. Jimmy Kimmel, he was suspended for some remarks he made about Charlie Kirk. In the process, it was known that he was kind of like pressured into doing it, only for them to come back and allow Jimmy Kimmel to come back online. There's certain factions, which I believe is Sinclair and something else. I don't know if it's Nexus or not, but Sinclair, who hosts some of these ABC channels, won't play them because they brought back Jimmy Kimmel. But a lot of people are looking at Bob Iger saying, "Hey, this looks like a kind of like a bitch move." I don't want to mince my words. A bitch move. If you were gonna bring him back, you could have just stayed true, especially if the values that you're trying to emulate or show people that you care about is free speech and all of this jazz. But a lot of people, and I can't remember the podcast, but I know New Rock Stars brought it up, Eric Voss. So shout out to New Rock Stars. There was a podcast that they were listening to with a very known source or leaker, I guess, or a source in that field. And they talked about how this could potentially impact Disney and the movies that it wants to release going forward. And one of the main movies that has had people up in thoughts about is the X-Men movie. Supposedly there was rumors that came out that Bob Iger wanted more of a blockbuster based film. Team, probably fan service, all of that jazz, but Kevin Feige wants a more story grounded film that touches on the complex situation, social dynamics that the X-Men in the comics had to deal with, which tend to lean politically charged more often than not. And a lot of, I guess, they were having fights about that, especially how Disney showed their hand with this Jimmy Kimmel situation. A lot of people are afraid that Bob Iger might get his way and demand that they just make a blockbuster and really teeter the line of an X-Men film. So I want to know, whose side are y'all on, and what side do you think is naturally going to happen in the end? Bob Iger or Kevin Feige?
I'm on the side of a good movie. Like, I just want a good movie at the end of the day. It's nonsense with the whole freedom of speech and everything that's going on with that. But I just want a good movie. I don't want them like bringing us over um to be like very political. We just want an X-Men movie. That's all we want. We don't want nothing crazy.
An X-Men movie without the political though, because the politicalness is.
But the thing is, you can't do an X-Men movie without the political side of things. Because look at X-Men '97. It literally touched on a lot of things political, especially against minorities in the majority. When like literally the mutants are technically the minority, and they still went after them, even though they had this whole treaty for Genosha and all this other stuff. They still went after them. which is leading to like more and more problems, especially when Magneto's like, nah, we gonna support our minorities, the mutants, because we technically have the power. Like these humans can't stop us. But then when all the other mutants are like, nah, we gonna play nice with them, we gonna play nice with them, we gonna play nice with them, and stuff hit the fan, Magneto was right. Like like you don't let it. How do I say? Don't let this get too far deep into it where it makes this movie bad. Just stick to the source material. That's what my thing is. You don't need to add anything extra to it. You have the source material, follow it. You don't have to make it more political than it already is based on what is going on in the comics.
So Rob, you said Bob Iger didn't want the politics in the X-Men movies?
He wanted, yeah, basically just how he was with Jimmy Kimmel. He didn't like the political nature of all of that jazz. He wanted to play a close vest type of thing. And people are thinking that those decisions are also going to trickle down to like X-Men movies who are based on characters who are politically charged in essence.
Oh, so this isn't like confirmed. They think that'll be his stance.
Rumors, and then his actions don't necessarily absolve him of these rumors possibly being true.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can't do, like you said, you can't do X-Men without politics, because a lot of their villains are what? Scientists, politicians.
Yep.
Boulevard Trash, the President of the United States. Like a lot of the mutant things happen on U.S. soil, so it's going to have to be something that we see. You know, I don't know if it's going to Capitol Hill or what's going on, but once people are mutants, you have to have something where in the movie mutants have to register, so we know, because this is like, it's going to be like a COVID type of thing. That's how they have to play it. Like a mutant gene is something that we have to know that you carry or that you have. So, excuse me, politicians, all of this is going to have to be in an X-Men movie for it to further any type of discussion during the film. I mean, unless you're doing like X-Men battling other mutants and you try to avoid that, and you might be able to deal with that in the second movie, the ramifications of that. But no, every single X-Men movie has dealt with politics, every single one.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, though. You can naturally, like, the X-Men in and of itself kind of give voice to just politics naturally, and it talks and touches on a bunch of different social commentary aspects. I don't think you need to add anything to it. I think I'm going to be a little optimistic here. I'm going to say that Bob Iger's like viewpoint in regards to that, and he is the head. I do know he's trying to exit again because he exited already once from Disney. So he I know that he's supposed to be a temporary fix because the last guy wasn't working.
Also, supposedly Bob Iger hates. He has very thin skin supposedly. So all of this shit could also be a factor into why he wants to leave again so abruptly.
Possibly. But I think him knowing the success and the turnarounds that have happened with Kevin Feige, and if the things that we're about to have come out, if those are all things under Kevin Feige's charge and they all do well, if we get $2 billion Avengers movies and a $1 billion Spider-Man movie that's all under Kevin's belt, I don't think that he would want to tell him like specifically, no, you can't have anything politically charged, because again, that would just completely take away the X-Men. I think they have to look at like the overall success of Marvel and how they can continue to keep it successful, and introducing the X-Men and telling stories with the X-Men will absolutely do that, and also has a lot. Also kind of want to go back over to a point that T brought up. We still did get a lot of those things in X-Men 97. Mm-hmm. And we did not get as much critique as we normally have with things that have featured certain aspects to things that could have a more social context to it. We didn't get that with 97. 97 was one of those things where I feel like anybody who is, if you say you're a fan of X-Men, then you know that they have a political charge behind them. You can't say you like the X-Men and not like the narrative or the storytelling around that political charge. It's like part and parcel to the very characters themselves. So I feel like X-Men, if we're talking specifically in regards to X-Men, I don't think that anybody will want to change the X-Men story. Again, they naturally, and I don't think that you have to, because they naturally point to social commentary. It's just who they are. You don't have to have it explicitly telling you with the X-Men. You don't have to have it enhanced any further with the X-Men. You know, the X-Men is telling you the story of what somebody who possibly has family at this point has gone through in Germany during the 1940s. There's people who can tell you, who in the X-Men can point you towards some of the feelings and sentiments that were felt in America during the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like, they naturally do it, even if it's not telling the Black American story or the German Jewish story, even if it's not explicitly telling you these things, calling out these things, even though they do in certain aspects. You don't have, like, it. Their struggle is one that's connected to all of us, but is their own struggle. And you can simply highlight that struggle. That's the beauty of the X-Men. It's a story that tells everyone's struggles. It connects everyone, but it tells its own struggle in its own universe. And you could just work with that. So I don't see why there should have to be any changes with the X-Men. If it has something political, if it has something that creates political commentary, and it's a story that we've heard over and over and over again from the X-Men, then we need to start kind of looking at where are we in terms of entertainment and media. I honestly, like, I know that might seem like I'm reaching, but no, like, there needs to be a larger discussion, because that's wild to say, oh, we have to change the X-Men because the X-Men references certain things and other things. No, that's crazy. That shouldn't be necessary.
You know, some of these CEOs be scared now.
Nah, but like, where are we at then? I hear you, and that's like, bro, if we at the point where we got to change the narrative of X-Men, what is going on? You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. It's just sad how things have.
You're right. In the world we live in now, you're absolutely right. We could be having a follow-up conversation of this, and I'm saying I'm dumbfounded, because there is a part of me that could see where something like the X-Men story could be escalated to a point of contention that is absurd, but is the reality of the repercussions of the world that we live in. That's just nuts to me. Like, that's crazy. It's like, bro, come on. You got the X-Men. You've known about this story for 60 years. You knew all of the parts to this story. What is there to keep? What are we doing?
Because then it begs the question: why would you even buy the rights back to all these X-Men characters if you'd be like, nah,
if
let's not even
sugarcoat their stories.
Yeah, let's sugarcoat the Magneto, Genosha, and all of this stuff through the politics. Let's sugarcoat that and bring all these mutants in. It's like, bro, you're gonna have writers like sick in a hospital bed trying to come up with stories, not including politics.
Yeah. Literally, it wouldn't be the X-Men. It'd be the Y-Men. That's a whole new it'd be a whole new group of people. Sorry, they just happen to have that. It's one of the better stories in comics because it does have that. That's the thing about it that's so important, is that it's not just the struggles and stories of a specific culture or group in our real world. It's the idea of taking all of those struggles and creating a family around it, like an institute in the regards to the school, but really ultimately a family. And hey, we all come together in these things that we face and struggle that and have had struggles between. That's what it like that if Stan Lee, when they were making the X-Men, that was one of the things that he was trying to touch on is we don't have to be separated by the things that we face. We can be brought together by them. And the X-Men is an example of that, of a showing of what that kind of looks like, even if it is in a fantastic. So that's crazy. Like I just forgot his name that quickly and I just said it.
Kevin Feige, Bob Iger?
No. Stan Lee. I don't know how I forgot Stan Lee. But Stan Lee about to be doing quadruple 1080 flips in his grave if you mess with the X-Men story.
Bro, facts.
That's such an injustice to Stan Lee. Like take everything else away. It's like changing Spider-Man, bro. Like you can't touch that. You're not supposed to mess too much around with the Spider-Man story. Like even when you look at people like Miles Morales and stuff like that, there are a lot of the same commonalities between Peter Parker and Miles Morales' Spider-Man that's grounded in what Stan Lee wanted the character of Spider-Man to be. You don't just change. It's certain things you just don't change. That's like in that territory. Spider-Man is supposed to be a reflection of the difficulties and on a basic level, the difficulties of maturity that a young man can face as he transitions from his teenage years into his adult phase in life. So things like responsibility and the different things that you have to kind of start to learn during those ages. Not just a boy, but a teenage kid, period. That's built into the structure of Spider-Man. Imagine if I said that's too political. So now it has to be, if you're going to talk about responsibility, you have to make sure you do it with an adult man. And Spider-Man is no longer a teenage boy who's learning responsibility. It's an adult man giving the hard iron shake of responsibility as a CEO. You would be like, this ain't Spider-Man no more. This is not like traditional Spider-Man. I don't know. I hope that nothing crazy like that happens, because if so, Sage, we got a really big problem. We probably already do, but
Bessie came through with the raid. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, Marvel is the topic of tonight. We were talking about X-Men. If we were going to go with the Feige route or the Bob Iger route. Once again, Bessie, thank you again for the raid. Really do appreciate it, my guy. Really do appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Just to give y'all the background as well, the Bob Iger route, he's trying to shoot for like the fan servicey, big blockbuster film, super corporate basically. And then you got Kevin Feige, who actually wants to stick to the roots of X-Men. Supposedly, it's a rumor that they've been having a quarrel about it. Bob Iger afraid to get a little too political in the environment right now. I know T, you said you just want a good movie, but which side do you think is the best capable of making that good movie?
Sticking to the source material. Don't add nothing else on top of it. I expressed that earlier. I want a good movie. Just follow the storyline. You don't need to add anything else political to that. X-Men's already political as it is. Just keep it in the comic book realm of the source material that you are given. But we might get stuck with the nonsense of Disney, Marvel not letting these directors and writers read the source material. And they have said this before, that they will not let them read the source material. No. Follow us on daggone paper that Stan Lee created with all these characters.
I don't know if that's actually true or not.
You don't know if that's actually true.
It's limitation.
You got Daniel Destin Creighton right now, literally using Spider-Man comic covers to base his stuff off of. You got Robert Downey Jr. reading the source material to get more familiar with Dr. Doom as a character and everything like that.
I think to kind of.
Oh, go ahead.
Just not sorry to interrupt you, but I think like what T is kind of getting at
So,
is
there
is a limit, like there is a cutoff.
Here's the thing: for Secret Invasion, director Ali Salim revealed he was specifically told by Marvel not to read the Secret Invasion comic series.
You picked the
Hold on. Shang-Chi. Director Destin Daniel Creighton told actor Simu Liu to avoid the comics while preparing for his role in Shang-Chi.
That's the actor, though.
Fantastic Four. An interview with the cast and director of the upcoming Fantastic Four indicated that the cast was advised not to read the comics because the movie would be doing its own thing. This suggests Marvel was looking for a completely fresh take on the characters.
That's the actors, though.
But it's actors, directors. My thing is, let them read the source material. It has been shown if you provide us you let them read the source material, you're gonna get some good comics, good comic book movies, i.e. Deadpool.
But you say that at the same time, before the MCU, Iron Man was ass. Nobody cared about an Iron Man comic book. After you have their own unique take, now Iron Man is a beloved character in the MCU and Marvel comics now. Oddly enough, so you can't necessarily tell them,
but
it's time. Yeah, like if I'm cool if one faction of either the directors or the actors that are familiar with the source material, especially the directors. If the directors know the source material, then I'm pretty sure that they're going to advise everybody in the general direction of what the character is, but also give the actors enough freedom to be able to interpret it how they'd like, giving their own twist, making it unique, a fresh set of IP for the same IPs that niggas have been accustomed to for years now. You feel me? It's kind of like you don't want them to get too railroaded on a specific way on how to act this character, because then you diminish what your acting prowess could bring to that character if you don't necessarily know the one-to-one of how this character acts and all of that.
I just don't
if you get
want
the
to
general,
see it in like a. I get what you're saying, but I guess where I kind of understand where T is coming from is like when you add something new, like what you just added in regards to the X-Men, and you know that like okay, they have had a history. Given whether it's with actors, whether it's with writers, whether it's with directors, I have been moments where they remove themselves from the source material. Again, maybe it can be justified. There are times where it works. For instance, just like what you just said, that's a great justification for it. That like, we want to do a fresh take on this, and we don't want you to get too locked in on the specific viewer role of this character. I get that, but if it becomes an excuse when you can add something else in, like political commentary, for you to be able to then take that same premise that you were using, let's say for Shang-Chi, they were using it for Shang-Chi because they wanted a fresh take on the character, on the different characters in the movie. If you could then take the same excuse that you use for that and put that here for X-Men, and it's, I don't go by any of the source material because we want to give this story a fresh take, but that's not really the truth. The truth is your boss told you this can't have something that was a vital element of the comic book. So now I'm here to tell you don't look at it because we want to give it a fresh take or a fresh view. Yeah, then that's when it become problematic to me. Mm-hmm. If it were to be something like that, yeah, that would be super problematic. Then you just scapegoat. You scapegoat in the use of unique storytelling and like, yeah, no, It depends how it's used.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So lean more Kevin Feige, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. But if if Bob Iger's argument is, I don't want the X-Men to be an original story, then yeah, I'm 100% leaving.
That man walking on eggshells. At some point in time, if you're the CEO, you gotta let that pause if needed. You gotta let your shit swing at some point in time. You can't be getting dictated by other niggas. You gonna block
Well,
your
it's
blessings.
weird because Disney been on this run.
Yeah.
Of, you know what I'm saying? So it's really
Yeah.
weird that that's the stance
I'm
now.
doing that.
When you just look at the content that's been coming out from Disney over the last like decade. It's literally been like that long. Like if you go to 2015 and look from anything that's come out from 2015 to today.
It's crazy, man.
Kind of look like, you know.
Hopefully they go the Kevin Feige route. Hopefully they understand. Hopefully these next Avengers films kind of put them in that stratosphere of beginning to trust Kevin Feige more. Because I feel like all of the problems that Marvel is dealing with, most of the time, it's Disney and how they want to approach things, how they want to push out stuff so they can get the most amount of return on investment, all of that jazz. I think at the end of the day, that's what it is. But we should be
One
on the
last
lookout
thing
for that.
to that
Oh,
too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You making me look at who is Bob Iger's replacement a lot differently now, knowing that. Like I want to know who that person is going to be, because that really the questions that we have, that really may be the answer.
Yeah. And that would be for all of Disney, though, right?
Yeah.
Has to be somebody, because you still have to be tuned in with the money. You still have to know the capitalistic endeavors, all of that side. But you also need to push for the comic creators, kind of like a James Gunn aspect. James is not afraid of using the comic material. He's not afraid of staying true to the characters, but also giving them twist when needed and everything like that. We need to have a CEO that's a lot more comfortable with that and just letting Kevin Feige, for the most part, have the reins and not be such a vulture on how they should dictate.
And you just don't know. You don't. Yeah. That's the thing too. You just really don't know with his replacement. His replacement can come. Cause see, this is where it makes things difficult. What if his replacement is good with the shareholders, but in order for him to be that way, he's the type of person who would shut a lot of things down that are like X-Men or X-Men in content. Then what? Because that guy might end up being the guy to get hired just off the simple fact that, oh, well, you're good at pleasing the shareholders. Then you got a problem on your hands.
Supposedly Dana Walden, it was some more in this podcast. I can't remember the name of it, but Dana Walden is one of the names. She is currently the Disney Entertainment co-chair. And Josh D'Amaro, who currently holds the title of chairman of Disney Experiences. Both of those two names are in talks for taking over the CEO role of Disney. Hopefully, they get their head out of their ass.
It's in-house.
Yeah.
It's in-house. That's a good sign.
Hopefully, they get their head out of their ass and actually do what they need to do. Because they got a whole lot of properties that a lot of people are not happy with them about. Star Wars being one of the main ones.
Yeah.
So they need to... Interception. Oh, Lord. All right, before we blow a gasket on here, y'all, we appreciate y'all. Bessie, appreciate you again for raiding on this thing.
Yes, sir.
Who is that? Gary Dragon too?
Yep.
Gary Dragon VT, appreciate you for stopping on by as well. Hey, if you're tuning in to us, make sure you tune in on that YouTube side as well. Make sure you had a noti bell on the Twitch side and the YouTube side, Squad NERO Podcast. We shall be doing more gameplay playthroughs of Ghost of Yote for the foreseeable future until either me or T finishes the story. We might even have some streams for Borderlands as well. Tap in. We also tune in every week for another podcast to talk about recent anime, animation, and or comic book events that's going on. JJK Medulo came out with a new chapter, I believe, today. Not too far off from the Boruto chapter from being released, Kagurabachi, a lot of other things in the mix, Gachi Akuda, all of that jazz. So tune in for us, hit that noti bell, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on all of our content, just to let us know that you are here with us. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week and see y'all next weekend. Peace. Hang on.
just act numb, just tryna float. There's a couple holes up in this boat. Dose my mind just so I can cool. They focus